Hi guys, hi. I hope everyone has had a great day, and I still hope that you guys are enjoying your day too as well. It's been a great day for me, guys. I love this time of year, even though I lost a lot of loved ones. Um, they're close to my heart, and if you have too, they're also close to your heart. Now, this may be out of the ordinary, guys, but this is a really you're gonna okay. Let me get it out. Okay, these are bodybuilders, and what I'm about to show you guys how it could become a mental health thing, a physical health, and I just learned something new that I wanted to show and share with you guys on this. Okay, so just bear with me one moment, guys. I'm putting my socks on because it's 86 degrees here in Florida, and it's cold in the house because I have the air unit on, and I'm about to have some a piece of chocolate. It comes from Sprouts, guys. This is a calm blend organic chocolate, and it's dark chocolate. And this is the good thing about it, guys. Let me show you. All you need is one. See the little packet here? So I'm just gonna have one. They were gifted to me, but yeah, I had a nice Easter dinner. I made something really cozy and comfortable, which was baked lemon pepper chicken, roasted rosemary potatoes with kale, spinach, and broccoli. And for dessert, I made a cream cheese pie. I was gonna make a key lime cake, but I know, guys, I have to get, I'll get there. I want to bake when I'm in a good mood. Everything's good, but also today is my bestie's. I lost my best friend. His birthday is today. He was Hawaiian, Kekalia. Okay, guys. So that's why I'm having this chocolate. This calm. See what it says? Calm blend. This is why I'm having that. I know a lot of you guys are probably with your family, and that's a great thing. But I do want you to tune into this later at the latter part of the evening or when you're winding down. It's something good to watch and it's very educational, okay? So we have our Spotify on. Let's get my mic correctly. And again, happy Easter Sunday, for he has risen. And we all should be grateful that we're here. There's a lot of people that are in worse shape than we are, guys. Okay? So this is for educational purposes only. So let's get started. Pay attention and take notes. It's called What the Doctors Find Inside of um, deleted, I don't want to say the word, deleted bodybuilders. Let's begin. Immortalized in magazines, paid millions for the most extreme physique on the planet. But here's the truth about becoming a god. You have to destroy the human first. In the early days, bodybuilding was simple. Lift heavy, build strength. But then money flooded in. Sponsorships, life-changing prize pools. Overnight, bodybuilding became an arms race. Who could get bigger, more shredded? Who could push the human body past limits nature never intended? These men injected, swallowed, and pumped anything that promised one more inch of muscle, and they won. They became legends. But every single one paid a price no trophy could ever be worth. Whoa, hold because when these giants... Oh my goodness, look how big this dude is. Usually I can't watch this, guys, because these people are so huge until they look scary, but they're not scary. But the fact of the matter is, look at this. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's continue. Giants finally fell, and doctors cut them open on cold autopsy tables. What they found wasn't human anymore. This is what doctors found when bodybuilding legends died. Number one, Andreas Munzer. If you've ever wondered how far a human being can push their body before it completely shuts down, Andreas Munzer found that limit. They called him the king of conditioning. Nobody in the history of bodybuilding had ever achieved what he did. There are three things that are really aging a woman rapidly. And that is when her spine is out of alignment, when it's compressed. Okay, let's continue. When Andreas stepped on stage, you could see every single muscle fiber under his paper-thin skin. Veins covered his entire body like a roadmap. His body fat percentage, some say it dropped below... What you guys are going to learn is how they become this big. And it's not always about steroids, guys, but most certainly, yes. First of all, they deprive themselves of water. In order for your muscle linings to show like this, you see the glands, all that, you have to deplete yourself of water because your body weight is how much mass of water. I'll let you answer that. Leave it in the comment if you know the answer. Let's continue. Below 3%. He looked like a living anatomy chart. But here's the problem. The human body is designed to function at 3% body fat. Your organs need fat to survive. Your brain needs fat to work. Your heart needs fat to pump. Andreas didn't care. He wanted to be the most shredded man alive. And in 1996, he achieved it. But that same year, during a guest posing in Germany, something went wrong. Andreas collapsed backstage. Severe stomach pain, internal bleeding. They rushed him to the hospital. And what doctors found inside him, it was like opening up a corpse. His liver had almost completely disintegrated. It was covered in... You see this, guys? Oh, I'm just doing this for you guys. Look at this. Can you see the knot? You see? Okay, let's continue. Tumors. So damaged that pieces of it were literally falling apart in the doctor's hands. His kidneys had failed. His heart was barely functioning. Even his blood had turned thick like sludge because of extreme dehydration. The doctors tried everything. Transfusions, emergency surgery. But Andreas's body was too... And guys, I'm into the body anatomy because, I had a heart surgery as well. So, this is just something that I've learned over the years thereafter, okay? So let's just get educated. Let's continue. Far gone. He died on the operating table. He was only 31 years old. When the autopsy report came out, 31 years old. Wow. Medical examiners were shocked. They'd never seen a human body destroy itself like this while the person was still alive. One doctor said it looked like Andreas had been dead for weeks, not hours. This is what happens when you educational take shredded too far. Only. Number 2, Rich Piana. Rich Piana didn't hide anything. While other bodybuilders pretended they were natural, Rich looked straight into the... Guys, look how huge this dude is. It just seems like unreal. But you guys, I don't know if you guys know Dexter. Just Google Dexter, Dexter. He's a bodybuilder out of my city and state. As a matter of fact, true story, guys. True story. I will go to this Japanese restaurant a lot after work. Because you guys know once I eat something, if you've been noticing me well, you should pick this up by now. If I like something, I eat it continuously. So me and Dexter, the bodybuilder from my city, I used to see him at Wasabi every day that I got off work. He had a special table that he sat at and everything because they have to eat a lot in order to get this size. He told me he had to eat 11 portion meals a day. So let's continue. Into the camera and said, "You want arms like mine? You want to weigh 290 pounds of pure muscle? Then stop lying to yourself. This isn't chicken and rice. This is steroids." As you come in, please subscribe, guys. Thank not because he won competitions, but because he told the truth nobody else would. Rich had his own brand, millions of followers. And no, this is not AI. This is in real time. Meals, massive workouts, massive everything. Wow. His arms measured 23 inches. But in August 2017, Rich's girlfriend heard a sound no one ever wants to hear, a loud thud. She ran into the bathroom and found Rich Piana collapsed on the floor, unconscious, not breathing. His massive 290-pound body just shut down. Paramedics arrived. They tried to revive him, but Rich's heart had already stopped. They got it beating again, barely. He was rushed to the hospital and placed in a medically induced coma. For 2 weeks, Rich Piana lay there. Guys, I'm going to stop it here. See, this is why I said physical and mental health issues. Because once your body gets into the point where you're physically damaging it, your mental mind is not going to have you or keep you from going to seek the proper medical care or lifestyle changes that you need. So there's a mixture of medical and physical when it comes to this. So let's continue. Organs were failing one by one. His brain showed almost no activity. And then his family made the decision. They pulled the plug. As you enter, Rich Piana was 46 years old. But here's where it gets... When they found him in that bathroom, police discovered something else. 20 bottles of steroids, crushed white powder residue near his body. And when doctors examined him, they found his heart was massively enlarged, almost double the size of a normal human heart. His liver, damaged beyond repair, scarred and swollen. You know why, guys? Because the heart... I'll wait and show you guys an example. Compounds through it. The official cause of death? Sudden cardiac arrest due to an enlarged heart. But everyone... See, that's what having an enlarged heart would do. The blood flow can't come through like it should. It may overpump or underpump. Let's continue. One knew what really killed him. Decades of telling the truth. Okay, this is what I wanted to say here. What was my thought? Let's continue. I lost my thought. Pardon me, guys. About steroids. while his body was screaming at him to stop. Rich always said, whatever it takes. And in the end, it took everything. Number 3, Dallas McCarver. Dallas McCarver was only 26 years old when his heart stopped beating. 20.
How big? They look like the
Most
Incredible
people at
Hulk.
26 are just starting their careers.
Looky.
Dallas, he was already being called the future of bodybuilding. Standing 6 feet 1 inch and weighing over 300 pounds in the off-season, he was a giant among giants. His nickname was Big Country, and when you saw him, you understood why. But on August 22nd, 2017, Dallas was at home eating dinner. Suddenly, he started choking. His girlfriend tried to help him. Heimlich maneuver. Nothing worked. She called 911. By the time paramedics... This is overcapacitating your body. This could be done in forms of overeating or undereating or bodybuilding, you see? So this is very educational. Just you can't overextend or underextend your anatomy, your body anatomy, guys. You have to keep your body as healthy as possible. So let's continue. Arrived. Dallas was already gone. They found him face down in his food. The official cause? Asphyxiation. He subscribe as you guys come in. This is about bodybuilders. That's where it gets terrifying. Because when they performed the autopsy, they didn't just find a guy who accidentally with unhealthy choked. They found a walking time bomb that was about to explode anyway. Dallas's heart weighed 690 grams. Let me put that in perspective for you. A normal adult male heart weighs around 300 to 350 grams. Dallas's heart was double that size. It had grown so big that it could barely pump blood anymore. But it gets worse. Oh, now I know what I wanted to say, guys. Because bodybuilders, let's see, I'm gonna show you a picture of how big he is. Kidneys were diseased. His thyroid bear with me one moment. His testosterone levels were over 55 This is what makes their heart and his overly enlarged. The doctor is the top part of their body. That night, he probably had months left, maybe weeks. His cardiovascular, like right here, see this up top? This is why we see that big pokeness, like the Incredible Hulk, raw, like that, raw. It look, see, it's smaller down here and it's bigger up. So this is where the enlargement of the heart comes from. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's continue. Pardon me, guys. The system was on the verge of complete collapse. Here's the most disturbing part. They found evidence that Dallas had suffered multiple small heart attacks in the weeks before he died. His body was literally trying to shut down, and he just kept pushing. At 26, Dallas McCarver had the organs of a 70-year-old man dying of heart disease. What? He thought he had decades left. Sorry, guys, bear with me. He's left to dominate the sport. They say his organs was like a 70-year-old man. Nasser El Sunbadi had a genius-level IQ. He spoke 7 languages fluently. He studied history and sociology at university. He could debate philosophy, politics, and science with professors. People who met him were shocked that someone this intellectually gifted had chosen bodybuilding career. But Nasser didn't just choose bodybuilding. He tried to conquer it. At his peak, Nasser weighed 315 pounds of solid muscle at 5 feet 11 inches. He had one of the most complete physiques in the sport's history. In 1997, he came second at the Mr. Olympia, losing to Dorian Yates by the... You guys see those veins, the cuts? It's because they have to deprive themselves of water to get this look. Let's continue. Smallest margin. Many thought Nasser should have won. He was brilliant. He was massive. And he knew exactly what he was doing to his body. That's what made his story so tragic. On March 20th, 2013, Nasser El Sonbadi died of acute heart and kidney failure. He was 47 years old, but unlike the others, Nasser saw it coming. In the years before his death, friends noticed he'd gone silent. The man who never stopped talking, who could argue about anything for hours, suddenly disappeared from public life. No interviews. You see what happens, guys? No matter what part of the industry or entertainment or sports that you're in, it sort of always lead to things like this because it's a competitive field. All those fields are just called out even more, you know, even in the workplace, corporate, federal, whatever. But it's not worth pushing your body and your health. See, I know it's Easter Sunday on this day, but this is a good thing. I'm not trying to bring in bad energy, but it's lesson to be learned. What's more important? What people think of you, how you look, what? So you can fit in? No, what's important is you being happy with yourself and not trying to make other people happy with how you look. That doesn't lead into this. So let's continue. No appearances, no social media. Why? Because Nasser's kidneys were shutting down. He'd been on dialysis for months. His heart was struggling. His body, that magnificent machine he'd built over decades, was breaking down piece by piece. And here's the worst part. Nasser knew the science. He understood human physiology better than most doctors. He was a very intelligent guy. I remember him. Steroids, growth hormone, and insulin were doing to his organs, but he did it anyway. When they found him, his body had swollen with fluid retention. His kidneys had stopped filtering waste. Toxins were building up in his blood. His heart, exhausted from years of pumping blood through 315 pounds of muscle, finally gave out. The smartest man in bodybuilding, killed by the one equation he couldn't solve: how to build a superhuman body without destroying the human inside. Nasser once said in an interview, "I know what I'm doing. I accept the consequences." He was right about both. Number 5, Mike Menser. Mike Menser didn't believe in working out 6 hours a day. While everyone else in the gym was doing 30 sets per muscle group, Mike did 3. While others trained 6 days a week, Mike trained 3. He called his system heavy-duty training, and it was based on pure logic and scientific principles. Mike had a philosophy degree. He read Ayn Rand. He questioned everything. And in 1979, he achieved what many called a perfect score at the Mr. Olympia prejudging, the only bodybuilder in history to do it. But the next year, 1980, everything fell apart. Mike competed at Mr. Olympia again. He thought he'd win. Instead, he didn't. Guys, I could imagine the stress that they're putting on their heart. Look at this. You see what I'm saying? So this is how their heart gets enlarged or doesn't pump correctly as should. I can see why now. I've always seen bodybuilders, but I never even really checked it out. I used to date one back in the days, guys, but seriously, but he wasn't like that, but he was big enough. Here, he's Filipino too as well. Let's continue. Didn't even place in the top 5. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who came out of retirement, took first place in what many called the most controversial decision in bodybuilding history. Mike was destroyed, not just disappointed, mentally shattered. He quit bodybuilding completely, disappeared. For years, nobody knew where he was or what he was doing. When he finally came back into public life in the 90s, something had changed. Mike looked different, not just older, sick. His face was gone. His eyes had dark circles. People who knew him said he'd become paranoid, isolated, consumed by conspiracy theories. On June 10th, 2001, Mike Menser died in his sleep. He was 49 years old. 2 days later, his brother Ray Menser, also a professional bodybuilder, died in his sleep too. Same house, same week. The official cause for Mike? Heart complications. But when you dig deeper, the picture gets darker. Mike had been suffering from severe heart disease for years. His arteries were clogged. His heart was enlarged. But he refused treatment. He'd become so distrustful of doctors, so isolated from the world, that he just let himself die. Friends said in his final years, Mike barely left his apartment. He was taking sleeping pills constantly. His heart medication sat unused on the counter. Here's what made Mike's death different from the others. Guys, educational purposes only. When you're into the heavy-duty college, as these professionals are, they work so hard to get their body like this. I mean, all cut and everything, but they also are depriving their body for what it needs. It's just not steroids, but this is just sad. But this is what they loved. It wasn't just the steroids that killed him. It was the destruction of watching his dream get stolen, the mental collapse that followed, the years of isolation and paranoia that turned a philosophical genius into a shell of himself. Mike Menser's body gave out, but his mind broke first. Number 6, Dan Puckett. Dan Puckett wasn't famous. He didn't win Mr. Olympia. He wasn't on magazine covers. Most people outside hardcore bodybuilding circles had never heard his name. But on February 11th, 2007, Dan Puckett did something that sent shockwaves through the entire bodybuilding community. He walked into his bathroom. He was 22 years old. Dan had everything going for him. He was a college student, a competitive bodybuilder with a bright future. Friends described him as funny, kind, always smiling. But behind that smile, something was eating him alive. Look at guys, hold on. Look how his body is cut. Like, look at, oh my God. Just look at the structure here. Can you see the structure? So look how much pressure that they're putting on their organs by, doing like the incredible hug. Oh, like that in their heart. Wow, and look how deep. Do you see this? Wow, guys. Oh my God. I just love watching this on TV. Let's continue. Off a steroid cycle. And when bodybuilders come off steroids, their testosterone crashes, mood swings, depression, anxiety. It's called post-cycle depression, and it's brutal. But Dan's family didn't know that. You see that, guys? His family didn't know that he was suffering from mental health withdrawals, things like that, because of what he's been putting in his body and depriving of his body, which is water. Our bodies are made of 80% water. So in order to get the cut, as I said twice before, you have to deprive yourself of that. So this is for educational purposes only. It's not just for bodybuilders. It's for people that overeat. It's for people that undereat. Okay? Disclaimer. Let's continue. Know that. They just saw their son getting quieter, more withdrawn. They thought it was stress from school. The night before he died, Dan wrote in his journal pages and pages about how he felt trapped, how he didn't recognize himself anymore, how the person in the mirror wasn't him. His parents found the journal after he was gone. Here's what makes Dan's story so disturbing. The autopsy showed his organs were fine. His heart was normal size. No liver damage. No kidney failure. Physically, Dan Puckett... Wow, guys. Dan Puckett, I remember him. He had no physical or body organ. He had no physicality within his body. But see, his became mental. Like he was trapped in his body because everybody wanted to see this body. And of course, you get prizes when you're all cut like this. But his became mental. So this is why it's titled Mental and Physical, because there's not going to be one without the other. If you're depressed, it's going to affect your physical. Okay? And if you're depressed, it's going to affect your physical and then your mental. It can go either or, yin yang, black, white. Okay, let's continue. Puckett was perfectly healthy, but mentally, the steroids had rewired his brain chemistry so severely that he couldn't see a way out. The hormonal crash had triggered a depression so deep, so dark, that a 22-year-old kid with his whole life ahead of him chose to end it. Dan's father later said in an interview, "My son didn't die from kidney failure or heart disease. He died because nobody told him what these drugs would do to his mind." After Dan's death, his story became a warning in the bodybuilding community. Not about heart attacks or liver failure, about muscle, about the silent killer nobody talks about. This is what happens to your brain when you mess with your hormones. Dan Puckett's organs were perfect, but he still died from bodybuilding. Number 7, Greg Kovacs. Greg Kovacs was the biggest human being you guys gotta know him. Not the most shredded, not the most aesthetic, the biggest. Off season, Greg weighed 420 pounds. His arms measured 25 inches cold. His chest was 70 inches around. When he walked into a room, people literally stepped back in shock. To put this in perspective, most Mr. Olympia look how big he is over this guy. To 270 pounds. Whoa, look at that arm. Pounds heavier than them. He wasn't just a bodybuilder. He was a science experiment gone wrong. Greg never won Mr. Olympia. He knew he was too big, too freaky even for a sport. He never won? What the freak? So you did all this to your body and you never won because you were too big. Wow. That celebrated freaks, but he didn't care about trophies. He cared about one thing, being the largest human being on the planet, and he achieved it. But in November 2013, Greg Kovacs collapsed at home. Heart attack. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital, but his heart had already sustained massive damage. He died a few days later. He was 44 years old. Now here's where it gets insane. Greg's wife later revealed that in the months before his death, Greg had been having heart problems constantly. Chest pains, shortness of breath. His feet were swelling so badly he could barely walk. Doctors had warned him multiple times. They told him his heart couldn't support 420 pounds of body mass. They begged him to lose weight, to stop the cycles, to save his life. Greg refused because losing weight meant losing his identity. He wasn't Greg Kovacs, decent bodybuilder. I just said your body appearance, your image should matter the most. Who it should matter the most is to you, not others. So do not get caught up in a cycle like that, guys. I'm my own unique person. I'm very stylish. I have my own way of being, and I perfect it. Not could or can. I do perfect it. Okay. So let's continue. Again, it's not about people, about other people. It's about you and how you feel about yourself as a male or female. Let's continue. He was Greg Kovacs, the biggest bodybuilder ever. Without that, who was he? So he kept pushing, kept eating 10,000 calories a day, kept injecting, kept growing. And his heart, this fist-sized muscle that was designed to pump blood, 180-pound man was forced to push blood through 420 pounds of tissue. Imagine your heart working 3 times harder every single second for years. That's what Greg asked of his body. The autopsy showed his heart was so enlarged and damaged that doctors were amazed he lived as long as he did. One cardiologist who reviewed the report said Greg's heart looked like it belonged to an 80-year-old obese man who'd had multiple heart attacks. Greg Kovacs wanted to be remembered as the biggest, and he got his wish, but the cost was dying decades before he should have. Number 8, Franco Columbu. Franco Columbu was different. At 5 feet 5 inches and 185 pounds on stage, he was tiny compared to the other bodybuilders. But what Franco lacked in height, he made up for in something nobody else had. Raw, brutal, terrifying strength. Franco didn't just win Mr. Olympia twice. He also won World's Strongest Man competitions. He deadlifted over 750 pounds. He could bench press 525 pounds. There's a famous video of him carrying a refrigerator on his back up a flight of stairs. And perhaps...
Oh, I think I remember that. When he carried the refrigerator up on his back up the stairs. Look how many, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think these are at 500 pounds, if I'm correct. Leave it in the comment, guys. Let me know. But there's 6, so he has 12. Let me know how much he's pressing right here. I don't know.
Most famously, there's footage of Franco blowing into a hot water bottle until it explodes like a balloon. This wasn't a bodybuilder. This was a superhero trapped in a small Italian man's body. But Franco was also smart. He became a licensed chiropractor. He understood the human body better than most. And unlike many of his peers, Franco didn't abuse steroids.
Whoa, I want to say this really fast. Isn't it amazing how all of them had careers in anatomy, but they became bodybuilders, but then they did this to themselves, but they say he wasn't on steroids, so let's see.
Was always moderate, always careful. That's why everyone thought Franco would live forever.
Okay,
On
he was
August
moderate
30th,
and careful.
2019, Franco was doing what he loved, swimming in the ocean near his home in California. He was 78 years old and still active, still strong. And without warning, his heart stopped. People on the beach saw him go under. They pulled him out. Paramedics tried to revive him. But Franco Columbu, the man who could blow up hot water bottles with his lungs,
him, guys.
who could deadlift 3 times his body weight, was gone. Now here's what makes Franco's death different from everyone else on this list.
That's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. He didn't abuse drugs. He stayed active his whole life. He ate well. He listened to his body. He even became
look how big Arnold is to this guy.
But it didn't matter because the damage from his competitive years, even though he was careful, had already been done. Decades of forcing his heart to pump blood through 185 pounds of solid muscle had left scars. His cardiovascular system had been under stress for so long that even 33 years after retirement, it finally gave out. Franco's friends, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, were devastated. Arnold said at his funeral, "Franco was my best friend, my training partner, my brother. I thought we'd grow old together." The autopsy revealed what everyone feared: heart disease, arterial blockage, the kind of damage that builds slowly over decades and hides until the day it doesn't. Franco Columbu proved that even if you do everything right, bodybuilding at that level still takes its toll. Even the smart ones don't escape. Number 9, Mohamed Benazisa. Mohamed Benazisa did something in bodybuilding that seemed impossible. He was from Algeria. No money, no sponsors, no connections. In the 1980s, bodybuilding was dominated by Americans and Europeans with access to the best gyms, the best coaches.
Guys, this is insane. I'm actually surprised that I'm sitting up here even watching this, but it's for educational purposes only. It's about the anatomy, the anatomy of the body's alkaline. But at one time, guys, like magazines, things like this, I couldn't stand and look at it because it look real, even though it is, but it's just abnormal because they push their body so much until one of my arms will probably make 6 of his. And in some cases, one of my arms, I need 10 of them or maybe 12 because they're so big. Let's continue. This is diabolical, guys.
Is the best everything. Muhammad had none of that. He had heart and hunger and a work ethic that terrified everyone who trained with him. By 1990, Muhammad had earned his IFBB Pro card and was competing against the best in the world. He wasn't the biggest guy on stage, but his conditioning was insane, shredded to the bone. Every muscle fiber visible. In October 1992,
Whoa, is that real?
to compete in the Grand Prix Netherlands. He wanted to win badly. This was his chance to prove himself on the European stage.
Dehydration.
So Muhammad did what many
He has to
bodybuilders do
dehydrate
before
in
a
order
show.
to
He
get
cut
these
water,
veins out like
drastically,
this.
diuretics.
Did
No
you hear
water
him?
for
He cut
days.
water.
He wanted to look as dry and shredded as possible. His skin had to be paper thin. Every vein had to pop. Muhammad stepped on stage.
Wow.
He looked incredible, placed well in the competition. But backstage after the show ended, something went wrong. Muhammad collapsed. His body started convulsing. Foam came out of his mouth.
Okay, you guys
Other
get the
bodybuilders
message, right? Because, okay. But yeah, so this is why it's important, guys. That's why I always tell you guys to hydrate. And we're not even bodybuilders, but it's the same effect. If you go all year and you're partying and BSing, excuse my language. I just thought of somebody because they would have said the whole word. But if you're partying and you consistently drinking and you're not flushing your system with water or any kind of electrolytes, you're going to be in trouble with years to come. Disclaimer. But true story, talk to your primary doctor about it. They will tell you. It's it's best to try to get an eight glasses of water, or maybe 4 glasses of water, and then 4 electrolytes. It's however you want to do it. Whenever I drink my water, just like I'm drinking now, guys, in here, my Yeti, I have Welch's grape juice. I have VA, and I diluted it with water. You see, I have 3 different health remedies in there. So whatever you have in your fridge, just take it out, mix and match, and just create you a power drink. So any drink that I do create, I call them. It's my own personal power drink because it's nothing but healthiness in there that'll keep my body hydrated. So anytime you have stomach cramps, headaches, muscle spasms, this is where this tells you that your body is dehydrated. If you have a hard time walking, guys, this right here tells you that you're dehydrated, okay? So I hope this helped, and please do share. And those of them around you, please stay hydrated. Make sure you drink something because some people kind of tend to forget. I'm telling you. I have this one person, ex-military friend of mine. He says, actually family member. He says he haven't had water in 20 years. But last time I seen him, maybe about 2, 3 years ago, he told me he was drinking water, but still looking at all the time that he went without drinking water. That's not good. That's not what we want to do. We want to drink water, guys, so that we can live a pretty long time, okay? So I'm going to finish this out, and then we'll be
screamed for
done.
help. Paramedics arrived within minutes, but Muhammad's body was already shutting down. His heart was beating irregularly. His organs were in shock. They rushed him to the hospital. Doctors worked frantically to save him, but at 10:20 p.m. on October 4th, 1992, Muhammad Benaziza was pronounced dead. He was 33 years old. The autopsy revealed the cause: cardiovascular.
Wow. Okay, guys. I'm gonna end this right here, but if you guys remember when they was on TV, condolences to all of the family members that are still here with us. And this, they were just doing a sport that they love, but it also made their bodies fail as well to get this look and to get the cuts. So rest in peace, guys. And guys, thank you so much for joining me. Okay, please do hit the subscribe. And until all in Economic Lifestyle, enjoy the rest of your